Alright, so we are going to be editing my spawn locations so that I can define in the editor which types of enemies are going to be showing up in each spawn location. So, first off, we've got our enemy spawn location class. And this guy is getting the enemy information randomly from this enemy repository that has a couple of monster definitions defined. And I'm basing the model off of this key. But that's not really what I want. So this key represents more than just the model being used. It also represents the HP, damage, stamina, all these other pieces of information that are here. And I want to use this string in the editor to tell it which type of monster to go for. So even if I might have multiple monster types with the same model, they have varying stats. So I need to add instead of the key, I add my model key here. And the key is going to be so how do I want to designate this? I mean, I guess I can just go yellow B 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. And the higher the number, the more difficult it is. However, that doesn't really numbering it like that doesn't really designate any kind of actual power, just in relation to each other. How powerful are they? I mean, really, when I'm setting this up, I'm going to know which enemies I want to have in each area and the relative level of power of those enemies. So if I can designate in my key which area it's for, I can at a glance edit enemies for a particular area. I'll stick to the base numbering for the moment. Yellow B 1, 2, 3. And I've got my other monster key, which is going to be Forest Bunny Gray. So this guy. 2, 3. Bunny 1, 2, 3. Let's mix this up a little bit. So 15 to 25 HP, 30 to 50, 60 to 80. Damage 3 to 8, 5 to 15. So say the bunnies are going to be 20 to 50. Actually, I'm going to leave the bunnies as the weaker enemies, and I'm going to increase the strength of the bees holistically. For my spawn location, I need a string array of monster keys. And from this spawn location, we're going to spawn 3 enemies. I'm going to do a... where'd you go? There we are. Gray Bunny 1, Gray Bunny 2, and we'll do Yellow Bee 1. This is going to be my weakest spawn location. So get random entry. Let's see here. So get random entry just gets a random from there. I'm going to do a get random entry, but I'm going to give it the keys to use. All right. Oh. Okay. Oh, yeah, because the name of the model isn't the same anymore. Oh yeah, this is still key because these are the enemy spawn information from the random values. It's not a yeah, it's not the same metadata information. It's copied. So there's 2 bees and there's 3 bunnies. Spectacular. We'll make the name be the key for now, but I'll probably add some display name information to the metadata. But for now, I want to do my stationary battle guy. And when I spawn enemies, I do this create. I want to say enemy has like a display name or something like that on it. Yeah. And that should get written to that should get written to that enemy stat information on the screen. And it did not. Oh, that's excellent. That's it. That's perfect. That's actually what I really wanted to do next. So the enemy unit isn't just the same enemies in there. Because of the randomization, you could have mismatched units. It just, the unit is represented by either the enemy that appears most in the battle, or if they're all equal, it'll just use the first enemy. So in each of those cases, we had a rabbit and a bee. And because the bee was the one on the left, that's the one on the unit. And because the rabbit was on the left, that was the one that was representing the unit. But say if we had 3 enemies, and we had a bee on the left, but then 2 rabbits, a rabbit would be the representational unit. That, you know, it's great when you get stuff for free. You know, I wasn't even really thinking about solving that, but that just worked out naturally. So, what the hell? Why is my display name not showing up? I have this, that was like enemy display controller or something like that. Yeah, text name is equal to blah. Update display name from enemy.displayname. And that's called when we do this update all displays. Yeah, I need to add it to this property chain. Well, not that property changed, but maybe a property changed. When is this called? Update all displays. And that's called when we set the enemy. And when do we call set enemy? Enemy.init display. And what's this other thing? Yeah, that's just the usage. It's called on init. Yeah, so, I mean, I could reorder that and all that garbage, but quite frankly, writing code that relies on the order of execution further on down the line is just a recipe for disaster. You can change one thing and then have a lot of unintended consequences. Just because, for this instance, I'm setting the display name after I'm calling initialize, which I need to call initialize in order to spin up the stats and do all that before I can set that information in my creation here. So I would have to always remember to call display name or set display name before calling init, but init has to be called before accessing the stats, which, quite frankly, is, like I just described, is unsafe. I'd rather just, have this guy throw a property changed event notification up, and if somebody cares about display name, well, we're just going to go ahead and hook onto that. So enemy.stats.property changed, enemy.killed. This.enemy.property changed. And we are going to go ahead and always remember to unhook your events. And I like to keep my event hooks down towards the bottom, below my methods. So we're going to switch on property name, case display name. We're going to update display name. And now we just need to go ahead and test and make sure that the display name's coming up right. So let's come on over here. I'm going to get myself into a little fight with an enemy. And it looks like our display name's looking good now. We got our key from our metadata set up there as the display name. So I think this is a good spot to cut off with this video before moving on to the next part where I guess I need to add some more spawn locations and configure up this level a little bit. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.